So usually, and this is a quote by one of our favorite persons. When I say our favorite persons, there are a lot of women here, so you'd know who I'm talking about. She was a poet and activist, Maya Angelou, and she said, what you're supposed to do when you don't like something is to change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it, and don't complain. Change the way you think about something if you do not like it. If you cannot change it, probably just the way you think about it should change, but do not complain. I'd like to say that the Obaasima Summit over the years spotted a problem. This entire gender activist stuff that has been going around is all because the world is giving very little to women, expecting much more from women. And we cannot really give so much if we have little. And so there is the need to give a lot to women. And the Obaasima Summit decided, we're not going to talk, we're not going to complain. We just have to change it, change the way we think about it. So it's the agenda, give a lot to women so that they can produce a lot. And this is the history of the Obaasima Summit. So today we are gathered here, we have lots and lots of beautiful ladies, some gentlemen to support us. Of course, we can do away with you. And we are saying that we are going to give a lot, as much as we can. And we know that sometimes we give so little, and women magically, somehow, produce so much, they can't even account to what they've produced. It's because probably we are magical creatures, I like to believe that. And so 4 years down the lane, when the founder decided to think of this, and said she wasn't going to sit on TV or radio and complain like, excuse me to say, some other gender activists do, that is not going to change anything. Action, changing something actually, or at least changing the way we think about it is what is going to do the magic. So that is the story of Obaasima Summit so far, and we hope you all join in the family. You shouldn't just be guests who would come and then pass by and then probably be invited some other day. Kindly decide to indulge. The men here, you should know that you were given birth to by women. You have spouses, some of you have girlfriends and extra side chicks. We know about that. So that is just to tell you how you can't do away with women. So please help us in gaining so much, and we promise to give you a lot. There are several packed activities after this launch. This is just a launch, and we'll make sure that you have a feel of all that. I can see my wonderful friend here, Ama Frimpong. Fine lady, no pimples, she'll tell you. Ama, welcome. Welcome very much. So that is what I have for you for the beginning. We'll go for a short musical interlude, and when we come back, we are starting the show as it's supposed to. Thank you.
Sawa, you singing na mini obiaka wa. Dear Bata Boaso, Niche Chana, I odati masia, nanum see a train of pay. And to one afi, Debbie, Oda, Bruni, Oda, Mesubi, Mother, Yamipa, Repababo, Oda, Bruni, Mesubi, Mother, when Yamipa. Yeah, baby, I wish a many man, I may am Naminim, so don't see. Yeah, to see my pim pump, contusion, Conetia, Yenti. I tell you, whatever can never come. Now, when it was a one carpenting, it's a message of our Tomaba Median and I am one Pesiaca, Carabina Yendi. I do tomorrow when I am a fat. If a man, one I made me a better, the Mesona when it was a one go on and a vet, the chassis a pair watch and yen. Ah, we am a kumamo him. Everybody sing. Odo makumeni na wankwa. Ajinjini ya jojonkwa. Arahoni ya tetenkwa. Odo makumeni na wankwa. Hey, she, otimasi, metinasi. Wede machi, odo mutatashi. Ahumachi, nata wole bonasi. Amese wodobra, osi, mira mati. She, wende muye. Ekomode, me hunti me pema. Yesimi ye homose. Me too many, me who are no pet, me home my pee, so one and I may send a pet. See, baby, you know that is the one. Hold on, to me. I tell me, Hosa Hamatan, Matuna Cinderella, and I want to meet with the pan and then we hear no crime and me, what don't want for the Jan. Cecilia, when near a fatao, we shall be not possible in a shaman, minibao. It is a what I see, I meet him in my house, or does one. Where the Cromans say, Magana, my Benajama, my Yama, Baba, June to land, see you can see a Binaka. When it's your Nina, and with Jamie Hawker. Let it would decide to me at now, and this is Jacob from the Benny. My Benas, I want me, sorry. Okay, so you know this one. Say, God, I like the way you do your things, like the way you say my name, especially when you're telling me you. Hey, yeah, and in everything you do, you involve me. True love is working, cause I know they feel no hurting. She know they love no flirting. No way. This is for you and always be true and even when I'm picking a random, you will be the one I'll be choosing. Hey, give you my right hand one when you know that I feel like I'm losing. When you watching me, it's like the sun is scorching me. Hey, when you're touching me, they make I done they sing this song like, baby, the things you they do me, they make I they feel. Girl, my heart done they for you, my love not real. Promise on my honor, today by your side. Hey, sing say, cause I can be your man, and you can be my girl. I can be your man, you can be. Sing for me now. I can be your man, hey, and you can be my girl. I can be your man, hey. See. Na me bocha skele wi akete bi wo me fie ne no bi mi asotire se wa bese ne ko ka ya ampe na me ba ka me bese ne so peden yo sire chi ana bese ne lipstick the eyelashes mama kuma refilling o peden me wo o mi ti o ye go bi she o peden me wo o peden last one o peden me wo o peden me wo she ende bibi eti na me bere wo hima Matessa papa ye tuma wo ministry so Mrs. Ma me to put the cake ni meet by you when you not just say we have something in common when you not just say can I never no go pay me miss Moleto say me who na bibi ya am you bibi ya am you no go pay me tia my sorry I want, I say I am my shorty, I want, hey, I am my shorty, I want, I say I am my shorty, I want, hey, oh, the papa bang, na man, oh, the situation you go so, na me, oh, the papa bang, na man, Oh, there's each year, me so, Name. Is it a Danya I can't meet the meaning for or the beauty says it's a mammy, why and dead. I got him, Marcia. I see your better, my dear. I did it, Davy. The very now. Okay, so this one. Bimbo, 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 bimbo. Thank you very much.
Chenyum, unyum ya dawati, unyum ya dankasa. And so when the summit started, I'm sure a lot of people didn't really think it was going to go far. Probably they thought it was one of those summits. But it keeps growing bigger and bigger. More big people are getting interested in it every day. 4 years down the line, there is so much to tell. There is a long way that we have come. And I think as this is a launch, obviously there are going to be events after that, as we do every year. There is no better person to talk about our journey so far and what we have for you 2022 this year than the founder. One thing I like about her is that she's the daughter of somebody who is very popular, but she has never ridden on that. She has carved her own path, fought for herself, and is making herself. And that is so admirable. So the Pratt name has nothing to do with how far she has come, because she did it all by herself, and of course, with her wonderful husband, Kwame Sudan to support. Allow me, with heartfelt applause, when I say heartfelt, not just noise you, heartfelt from your heart, to welcome Ama Pratt, the founder of Guinness Ghana Obaasima Summit 2022.
Success music. My name is Awangan.
Let's see you do more. Let's see you do more.
So the ladies in the house, the man I'm supposed to see the dollar bill. But I'm a tall man, my baby in the house.
Hello. So I know that Jifa has already apologized for the late start of today's event. Cheno has he started us off really well, so we are grateful to you, Cheno. Thank you, Jifa. I felt the interaction. It was very heartfelt. Thank you so much. And yes, Jifa is my friend. Jifa is hosting the morning show at TV Africa now, but very soon Jifa is with Pan Africa TV. Right? Allow me to welcome you all again. Thank you for choosing to be here on a Friday afternoon. We appreciate it. On the face of that alone, it shows a commitment to the cause, and we are grateful. I mean, where do I start from? Look at the faces, look at the names. So please allow me to skip. Because this line alone, my goodness, but we are grateful to you all, for being here. I think as we go along, if I would keep saying the thank yous, I will say the thank yous by the close of the day. Let me talk about what Obaasima Summit is all about. And in fact, eloquently did that just before. It is about, in a way, having an even playing field. That's the dream. It is not to make women more powerful than men. We know that in building this society, we need our men, we need our women. But look around you. Oftentimes, it looks as though the woman starts off late, right from the get-go. By the time we say, on your mark, get set, pick, go, the man is ahead. And that's the situation that we are concerned about. That we can all start at the same time, equipped equally, so that we can all run together. Men, women, contributing our best, the best in us to build this society. We could spend the whole day talking about all the ills there are in our society, and we all do that in our own capacities. But then what do we do to move all of us forward? And for us, it's about having real conversations. It's about changing the mindset. but most importantly, it's about taking action. To this end, I would like to say that it's been an amazing journey. I don't have terrible stories to tell about the journey of Obaasima, because somehow I think that at our core, all of us see the need to make a change. And so it's been amazing in that it's been accepted and it's been owned by all the partners that we've had in the past. And allow me to talk about a few. When we started, we had Nestle Ghana on board to give us products, from the beginning. We had ATL Fabrics give us products, to give to amazing women, who sort of handed over the baton to us. I can talk about Professor Jina Noko Bajiman. I can talk about Madame Joyce Bawa-Muntari. I can talk about Madame Esther Koba. I can talk about the then Gender Minister, Honorable Mamle, our 5 strong women that we started with. I can talk about the second edition as well. Couldn't do 2020 because of obviously coronavirus, but then we skipped straight to 2021. And here, allow me to recommend our partners, Guinness Ghana. You see, oftentimes what happens with sponsorship is that people like to give the money and watch you. No, not Guinness Ghana. Guinness, they are involved from when we start planning. So this is not an Obaasima concept executed by Obaasima, where Guinness has given us money to go and do. No, this is a Guinness concept. Because progressive portrayal, that conversation of progressive portrayal of women already, and we were doing something in our own small corner. And then our powers combined. And here we are, Captain Planet, we are about to fly. So I would like to say thank you to Guinness Ghana. It's been an amazing partnership. Sometimes there's too much passion, with myself and my team. We like to run, amok. But thank God for Guinness. Every now and then you're like, calm down, come here. And that's very important. That's because you need to have structure to what you do. The passion will get you only so far, So I really, truly would like to say thank you to Guinness Ghana. And of course, our reps are here. Thank you so much for being here. Yami and Yadia, last year events, we almost, had an altercation, But it's like that. That's how we build. Yeah, I'm so happy to see. And of course, Madam will speak, so I'm not going to talk too much about her. She would actually come and speak to us. I'd like to recognize a few more partners. I'd like to talk about Vena Mineral Water. Vena Mineral Water has been sponsoring us with water, not just for the main events, but also for the campus events. Biscuits for the students, water for the students, and all of that, on and on and on and on. But this year, and I want to be very brief so we can run away from here. The story is a long story. I've even had videos to show, about all the activations that we've done on our campuses. We've been to the University of Ghana, we've been to UPSA, we've been to Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, we've been all the way to UDS in Tamale. We've been around, with the progressive portrayal of women conversation. Because sometimes we stay up here and we have conversations and we talk down at people. No, this time we decided to move around and listen. First of all, just listen, and then take from those conversations what we may and do with it, what we may. So that's what happened essentially in 2021. I would like to recognize new partners that have come on for this year. I would especially like to recognize the All African Students Union. And we have representatives here. We have the director here. We are in talk with the agenda rep all the way in Kenya. Amazing. Now, when they approached, the conversation was, you are doing something amazing, but can we take it global? I'm like, who doesn't want global? Hey, let's have a conversation. So they are here. The plan is for us to work hand in hand, all African students union, they are riches all over. If we are moving around in Ghana, why not extend the conversation? Because these are conversations that are as real in Kenya as they are in Ghana. These conversations are as real in South Africa as they are in Ghana. So we are very happy, that you approached us. We are grateful, and we are going to work. We are going to work together. Right, I'd like to speak about the NLA. Hilda, I said, no, let me keep quiet. Hilda will speak about the NLA and why the NLA has fallen in love with us. We've been in love with you for a very long time, but
we will allow you to tell us that when it's time to speak. We are grateful. We are grateful that you've come on board to support. We haven't concluded conversations. We are still conversing. But hopefully after here, we are done conversing. Okay. I would like to acknowledge Comfort. We all know them and everything they've been doing in this field over the years. That is not for me to say. We appreciate that, and we appreciate that you are here to support. We will take all the support that we can get going forward. Absolutely. Thank you, sir, when you come. Okay, so, it goes on and on. There's Fight Hall. Do we have the Fight Hall rep here? No? Okay. It goes on and on. Tech Haven, our IT support. 2 years running, they provided us those workshop. We don't mean to talk and go. We mean to keep in touch, see progress and take it on from there. And Tech Haven is helping us with that. So I do not take their support for granted at all. This tech company that has decided that year in, year out, they are going to partner us to make, all of this process very seamless. I know that Hilda is going to smile when I say this. It's our vice president that is telling us about a digitized, Ghana, and I hope you can see that we are doing our best to catch up. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, yes, I think that I have recognized. Okay. So there's Millennium Insurance as well. Goes on and on. At this juncture, I'd like to particularly acknowledge Madam Comfort Odronyako. Madam, please, Makola Women's, thank you, Makola Foundation. And this is where I talk about the rollouts for this year. Last year, we went around the campuses. This year, we are having those engagements also. But this year, we will centralize our activities. So all of those students' activations are going to be ongoing again as they were last year. But then also this year, and here I also have to recommend Guinness again, because it's Guinness that actually said, let's keep the conversations going, but let's extend it into actual activations where we are actually offering skills. Because empowerment doesn't stop here. It starts from here, but it doesn't stop here. So beyond the conversations that we are having, which we will keep having, let's now take it a step further. Let's actually impart skills. So for this year, the difference between this year and all the other years is that this year, the plan is actually to do as much in terms of skills training as we can. And so we are extending into the market. And we were expecting the president of the Market Queens Association herself, Madame Mersini Jan. We are in active talks with her. I expect that she'll be here before the event runs out. And together, also with the UMB Bank. UMB Bank, do we have a rep here? Because the UMB Bank is our official partner in that. They are going to be going with us to the markets, and they are going to be leading the conversations on the skills acquisition. So bookkeeping, financing, all of these soft skills that our markets women perhaps are already equipped with, but they need to digitize, right? So these are conversations that we are going to be having. I have so much more to say, but time. So let me just conclude. Let me conclude by saying thank you that you are here. Thank you to my friends in the media, Harriet, Lily, Amanda, I see you. All of you, here, Jifa, of course. Thank you to our partner, Guinness. Thank you to our partner, ASU. Thank you to the organizations that have led the way, the, feminist CSOs, all of them, Comfort, all of you, thank you. But I will use this to make a request of you. In our small kindness, we can do only so much, because the goal is always one. I think that every now and then, we need to hold our hands and centralize our efforts. And if there's a way we can do that, I think that would be the fastest way, perhaps, to run with this vision that we all have. For us at Obaasima Summit, and I'm happy that the family keeps growing also, I see Hawa here. Hawa, we met in a university. Where's Hawa? She was here just a minute ago. Yeah, there she is. We met Hawa in Winneba, passionate. I remember the first edition, Hawa kept saying, I want to join the team. And Hawa doesn't play. I want to join your team. I want to join your team. And last year, Hawa was one of our lead coordinators. These are the kind of stories that we want to tell. A lot of student leaders, we are in touch with the WUCOMs, we are in touch with the student leaders, the female student leaders. We are having soft conversations, but beyond the soft conversations, we want to have actual success stories that we can show. But the most important thing for us is that it shouldn't end at student leadership. When now they finish school, they are done. And then what? These are the conversations. I want us to come back at our main events, because every year we do our activations and then we have a main event where we actually give a report. I want us to come back at the end of all of our activations and give a report that we are proud of, and you will be proud of too, as our sponsors on this drive. The dream is huge, and I'm happy that every year I see us closer to achieving that dream. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. We will launch very soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Introduce the first person to talk. This one is a special one because they have to welcome Sylvia Owusu-Ankuma.
Knowing that I was one of the culprits for keeping you waiting. Good evening. I'm excited. I don't know about all of you, but I'm really excited to be here this evening. And I know when Jifa started, she talked about her color being yellow, being in tune with the Guinness logo, being in tune with her sponsors. Well, I think maybe as PR people, image is important. And I also reflected about the brand Obaasima. So there you go. So Guinness Ghana, why are we on board with Obaasima? And please forgive me, I think the protocols here is quite heavy and it will be hard to go through each and every one of them. But I duly recognize each and every person here this evening, particularly our friends from the media. Guinness in 2020 launched globally, so our parent company is Diageo, for most of you who know. We launched globally what we call the Spirit of Progress. Now, the Spirit of Progress is a 10-year ambition to move us into a world where we are sustainable. A company who's been in business for each year. We have Malta Guinness, we've got the Guinness Foreign Extra Stout. All these iconic brands that you know come from Guinness Ghana. Now, the Spirit of Progress, coming back to the Spirit of Progress and why it was launched, we stand on a number of pillars. So one of it is that as a business, we need to be sustainable by design, which means when we look at how we're growing raw materials, we're sourcing it from the community, we're bringing it to the breweries, we're manufacturing it, and taking it to the end user, we're making sure that that whole process is sustainable for the long term. Another thing we wanted to, or we've committed to do over the next 10 years is to make sure that when we say diversity and inclusion, it is something that we live by. And that's the pillar we're standing on today. There are quite a number of pillars that drives our Spirit of Progress agenda, doing business the right way, also going over and beyond and making sure that we are sustainable. I've talked about being sustainable by design already. So for us to be in this marriage with Obaasima is purely because it fits in our grand scheme of things. It fits in why we're doing business. So for our brands, for instance, we know it's taken by both men and women. So why not reflect that even in the things we sponsor? So thinking about that, Ghana, I think, has been leading most of the conversations, as Amma mentioned. In Ghana, we've identified both internally and externally initiatives that would help us land our agenda. So I'm talking about 10 years. And that 10 years will look at us reflecting back and seeing what else we can take on beyond those 10 years. So it certainly is a conversation that is not dying today until we see results. Okay? Until we see results. And that is why for us as Guinness Ghana, it's not just put the money down, let's sponsor Obaasima and go. The progressive portrayal of women conversations internally, just to give you a snapshot of what it's doing to us as a business. I missed the 2021 edition of the Obaasima because I was on maternity leave. And how is it that, you know, a corporate director, you're able to take off 6 months maternity leave? It's because it's been made a policy. Differences, those diversities, and allow us to work ourselves in organizations based on those differences. My little baby, and now I'm back at work. It's one of the policies we're extremely proud of. It applies to any person in the organization who wants to take leave. 6 months, paid. I don't know how many companies do that in Ghana. I don't know. Beyond that, we've also had a focus for STEM, where we are encouraging young, upcoming engineers to come into our business and have a managed program to help them hone their skills and become invested in the brewery process, in the manufacturing process. Why are we doing this? Because when we talk about diversity inclusion, particularly for Ghana, the diversity conversation becomes about men and women. Yes, there are many things that comes up when you talk about diversity. I mean, the religion, the local dialects, people come. There are so many elements that calls for diversity. But for Ghana particularly, it's a question of the gender. So we're making these conscious milestones internally to make sure that we're getting ourselves as a business to meet our 2030 objectives, part of the spirit of progress. And interestingly, in the whole of 2021, we run as a business managed fully by women. From the managing director, to the supply chain director, to the finance director, to the commercial director, it was run fully, including myself as corporate relations, fully. That's not to say we don't understand the importance of men. God, the whole manufacturing process is more or less led by men. When we look at our gender numbers, yes, at the top, we're trying to keep the balance of 50-50. Currently, we've had new hires into the management team, which brings us back to the balance. But when we look at the core of the work, within our commercial space, within our manufacturing space, we see there's a gap because there are more men who would come into those jobs than women. And as a business internally, we're having the conversations. What can we do to make it easier for women to take up commercial roles? What can we do to make it easier for women to take up shift roles within our supply or manufacturing sites, whether it's here or Kase? So it's not just like people say, talking. We're walking that talk. Externally, we've identified the Obaasima platform as one that would help us advocate these messages externally, right? We feel that it's important that people have, like Amma said, a level playing field. People are not limited by virtue of their sex, their gender, their gender, they are not limited by their religion, they are not limited by, I mean, whatever it is, their physical abilities, etc. We need to identify that people are unique and individual, and it is that diversity that makes us run as a world, basically. So not just beyond a global agenda, we have brought it home to Ghana. And believe me, as partners, Amma, I can assure you that this marriage is going to stay on for a long time. Okay? So when I said I was excited because in 2020, we're looking to expand our footprint. And I'm excited also because I'm back from maternity leave and I can be part of those exciting trains and conversations. One of those things, I think the theme that we've chosen to go with this year is progressive portrayal, building capacity for elevation, right? Building capacity for elevation. So we started with first recognizing that we need to have a shift between how as media people, as advertisers, as entertainers, we portray women externally. That conversation is still live. I think we've just scratched the surface of it, and we need to keep up at it. I'm excited to see some celebrities in the house, which would help us, amplify these conversations. It's important that we take out all those barriers that women see as limitations when you're having a conversation of a job, and you're not confident enough to negotiate what you're due because you feel you have those limitations. And there are realities. Don't be. I think we shouldn't be dismissive about the fact that we're different. Yes, there are times of the month that a woman would typically not be up for it, but definitely because it calls for a business decision, or it's something that requires a woman to show up, you need to put all those things aside and still strive. You don't come as equipped as a man would in certain duties, and I've just explained to you internally, for instance, when it comes to commercial roles, which requires people to drive through the night, go to bars and do activations, etc. Most women will shy away from those jobs. But what can we do? Internally, we've started the conversation. What can we do to make the barriers, whatever is blocking a woman's opportunity in doing those things that they want to do, removing those barriers, is giving every woman the reason to believe that they are equal contributors to the global agenda, to our local agenda. So this is just for us to entrench ourselves as Guinness Ghana, believing that the legacy or the agenda that Obaasima has defined for itself is one that is a relevant conversation for Ghana, and we are happy again to be sponsors. So I encourage all of us, beyond the launch, to avail ourselves to all the programs that will be coming up. And that's where my excitement starts from. So thank you again. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to be your sponsors.
Thank you, Sylvia Owusu Ankuma. She is the Corporate Relations Director at Guinness Ghana. Yes. I'm taking this from Fine Girl with No Pimples. And Amma is a wonderful person. Trust me, I have a story with her on how she fought for me. And I didn't even know she was fighting. And you're supposed to be on opposing sides, she will understand it. And Amma is a wonderful person. She will give us the message from NLA. And please, support her. Kindly give her a round of applause. She likes it, that's what's going to encourage her to talk more. So, Amma.
So, I wasn't supposed to say anything. So this one day, Jifa, you should have put me on the spot. I see Akosia, she's laughing at me, but I'll get her too. Amma, well, Saturday bonds, what do you expect? We Amas, we are go-getters. We decide on something and we really stick to it. And we get it done. We were supposed to meet on a whole different thing, but our schedules didn't permit us. So when I got to NLA and I saw her proposal asking that we support her, I just had a laugh and thought, well, we're supposed to definitely meet. NLA has recently launched its Good Causes Foundation. We had a new Director General start work in August. By October, Good Causes Foundation had been launched. Basically, it's the CSR arm of the National Lottery Authority. Many times people ask, so if I don't win, what happens to the money? What do you do with it? We don't know where the money goes. The NLA Act itself also mandates the authority to have a lottery, and proceeds from it should go into supporting the marginalized, the vulnerable, the orphans, widows, persons with disabilities. So it felt, it all came together. I've been there a couple of months, and so far it's been good. I have the support, or the Good Causes Foundation has the strong support of the Director General, because it's his idea. He wants to make that impact. And at the end of the day, it's all about making impact in people's lives. You might give someone all the money in the world, they would go and still come back and have a story of why it did not work or why this didn't happen. But you might give somebody so little, and the story they come back with amazes you. So it's how people utilize what they are giving. When I looked through her proposal, I noticed that she had Obaasima Summit had a part where they were going to do programs with market women and then train women skills. If you give us, most of us do side hustles. I take inspiration from Cozy when she says, you always have to have a side hustle. Don't rely on one source of income. You need to do something else. Our moms, our grandmoms, they were always selling something else. I was raised by an old lady, so anytime she was busy going to sell something, and then I follow her and then we go, so there was always some business going on. She always had to sell something to support. So if you train a lady, a woman in one skill, trust me, it makes the impact of it trickles down, ripple effect. It's coming to the home, it's supporting others. We are always helping our nieces, our kids, friends, anybody that we meet. Sometimes we, out of pocket, you see someone, they haven't even asked you and you are touched to help them. So I'm pleased to say that Good Causes Foundation is going to be working with Obaasima. Obabia Obaasima. We are strong and we are also vulnerable. It complements each other. There are times when our vulnerability is our strong asset. And there are times when our strong asset is being strong. You just have to go there and be strong. There's no other option. So, you know, we are very happy to say that Good Causes Foundation is going to be working with Obaasima Summit. And hopefully there's going to be more of such. We've just started. This is our first collaboration with them or support with them. And I'm sure as the years go by, there will be more good stories to tell. Thank you very much.
And so I'll pave way for Mr. Osei Boateng to give us 5 minutes of some good message from Campaign for Female Education.
She rightfully said, I'm Osei Boateng, and I'm with Comfort Ghana. Back in the days, we were called Campaign for Female Education because we were focusing on young women education. But for now, we look at women empowerment. So for the purpose when it comes to enabling young women to contribute meaningfully to society, before we started the enterprise component, we, as an organization, is a UK-based NGO that is located in 5 African countries. In Africa, we work in Ghana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and then Zambia. In Canada, we have an office in Canada and then US as well. And previously, I think some of us will know us for the Scholars Program, where we support young women to go to the tertiary level. We give them stipends, we give them laptops, we pay their school fees, and we place them in the best hostels. When you go to UG, they are in the best hotels. When you go to UCC, they are in superannuation, and we empower them at the end of every long break. We take them to, we just camp them at one place where we give them training, life skills training. But for, like I said, for the purposes of this gathering, I'll be talking about a Young Africa Works at Comfort Ghana, where we support young women between the ages of 18 to 35 to either start a business or scale up. And it's based on what you, the individual, wants to do. We termed it as tailored training. We don't want a situation where you give somebody a training and the person will go like, maybe I just didn't want to do this one. It's something else that I want to do. So we have TVET, that's a technical vocational training part, where we support young women who are interested in going into male-dominated areas. We give them training in an institution of their choice. It's comprehensive, and once they gain the training, we ensure that they're established, whether they move on to further education or they start a business. And then we have the startup. So listening to what Amma Pratt said, I think for the young women that we are looking at empowering, I think they will fall under the startup program at Comfort Ghana and then the business growth program. So when I say startup, what it means is people who have gained training, be it under fashion, be it under IT, any of the business sectors around the world, and they want to start a business. We give them equipment to start. We give them grant to enable them start. And when it comes to the business growth component, what we do is it's an existing business. Whether you're a market woman, you are into agro processing, you are into the hospitality industry, we give you startup kits, we give you equipment, and it's not one size fits all. It's more or less like we sit with you one-on-one, and then based on your needs, we meet you. There are some, we give them as much as. The Card Foundation sees Africa as a next big thing when it comes to the globe. So the aim is to create 30 million jobs for Africa in the next 10 years. And Ghana has been fortunate to benefit from 3 million. We at Comfort Ghana are responsible for approximately 120,000 jobs. So far, we've been able to support over 10,000 young women to start or scale up. I was speaking with Veronica not long ago, and she mentioned they have quite a number of young women. And we at Comfort Ghana, we are happy to partner. This year, we are supposed to support 7,000 young women who are already into business to scale up. We are also entitled or supposed to support 8,500 young women to start a business. And we are also supposed to support 2,000 young women who are in the TVET space to also go for training and then eventually also start, let's say, a spraying shop, a fitting shop, you just name it. So, like, I think, if I remember very well, Amma mentioned we can't do it alone. We all have one goal. Some might be coming from the left. We all came from different directions to this venue. So we at Comfort Ghana, one thing that I would say is we are more than willing to plug into the Guinea's Ghana Obaasima program, which seeks to empower young women to get to the same level as men wherever they find themselves. And most of we have one woman, Dr. Zasigi. I don't know if anyone here has heard of her. She is in Borga. She employs over 400 young women. She is into basketry. She does the basket weaving, and then she exports it to France, to US, and just around the globe. Because as it stands now, we've been able to do a little bit over 40% of our mandate for this year, which is reaching out to the 8,000 young people and the 7,000 young women. So maybe after the launch, I'll be available. We'll be more than willing to take this conversation further and see how best we can support young women. Thank you very much.
We are privileged to have some people who would love to help, who are actually here to help. So he's told you himself, if you leave here and you don't take his contact, do not blame Obaasima Summit, because we did our best to bring them here so they can meet you all. We'll continue with our messages, and please, 5 minutes, because a lot of people are, especially those who are here very, very early, we wouldn't want to punish them too much. Don't you agree with me? So we would continue with one of our student groups. That's how we would call them. They've been here with us for quite some time. They were here on time. And Veronica Jiagu, she is from All African Students Union. And of course, if you're talking about women, we have students amongst women. And so we would call on Veronica to give us 5 minutes. You see the way I was stressing on the 5? 5 minutes.
Right, good evening, everyone. So I'm from the All Africa Students Union. It's a representative body for students across the African continent. I'm sure most of you here haven't heard about it, but just like we have the union made up of heads of state across the continent, we have a body representing students. And the government of Ghana has hosted us for the last 50 years. And so this year we are celebrating our Golden Jubilee. And so our partnership with Obaasima this year is a very unique one, and we are very proud to be associated with it. I'm actually going to present a statement on behalf of our Secretary for Gender, who is in Kenya. She was supposed to join us via video, but unfortunately we couldn't get that set up. And so I'll try to stick to the script in the interest of time. So today we launch another chapter of building female capacity and accelerated gender mainstreaming in Ghana. On behalf of the All Africa Student Union President, Mr. Vani Jase, who is based in Liberia, and the Secretary General, Mr. Peter Koji, I extend the warmest greetings to you all. We are very proud to be associated with Obaasima 2022, which will be organized under the theme Progressive Portrayal, Building Capacity for Elevation. Obaasima for the past years has inspired courage, informed to reform, and enabled young women across the length and breadth of Ghana to embrace the beauty and strength that lies within ourselves as African women. We thank Guinness Ghana for believing in this initiative and supporting Obaasima this far. Our hearts go out as well to all organizations and individuals who have supported the dream till date. We, as the All Africa Students Union, representing over 130 million students in 54 African countries, applaud this innovative grassroots movement by the Obaasima Foundation. We approached Obaasima after exploring our common goals as an organization, and today we are happy to say that we have opened our doors to Obaasima, same as they opened theirs to us when we came knocking. This only means one thing, that henceforth Obaasima does not only belong to Ghana, but to Africa as a whole. We are very happy to say that through our partnership, Obaasima activities are going to spread across the continent to make more impact. Permits me to borrow the words of Amma Pratt, the dynamic force behind this bold and beautiful initiative. Young African women are ready to do whatever it takes to let our voices be heard and our faces be seen. And this is coming from Angel Imbuthia, the All Africa Students Union Secretary for Gender and International Relations. We call on all of us here to support this cause as we go beyond the shores of Ghana this year to expand the reach and impact of this wonderful movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Veronica. And so we have a few people still joining us. That means that this program means so much to them. And so even though they are several hours late, they are here, and that tells you that there are a lot of people who are in love with the Obaasima Summit. We appreciate you. We have Francis Aban from here. He's a GH1 in the style contest. We can't see your hand, we want to see your face actually. Welcome, welcome. You are late, but we still love it. We'll continue. We are almost getting to the end, so please don't leave. You should be rest assured that we wouldn't take too much of your time going forward. We have heard from our partners. We have heard from our sponsors. Let us hear from a friend. Somebody who isn't so much involved but loves the idea and is coming on board. A friend who is the opposite sex of what our campaign talks about, but definitely in love with our concept. Help me, please. Welcome. I won't mention his name again, his full name again, because that is like a royal name. We don't mention it basa basa. So allow me to introduce to you our final person who's going to give us a 5-minute message. And trust me, that 5 minutes is going to be worth more than all the time that you have spent here. Do you believe me?
I do.
You see, somebody does. Valerie, please join us.
Very much, Chifa. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and standing on the protocol, certainly. It's a wonderful program. I deem it a great honor to be here and championing the cause of women. I work with a lot of women, certainly in my establishment, EIB Network. I think that the women by far dominate out there, especially in the newsroom. You know, I wish we had more in the IT department and engineering. So coming for this launch, I think that I'll reconsider that as well, just like Guinness has done. To get a lot more women to be in executive management as well is important. And not just the soft life, but the hard work as well. So clearly a delight to be here. It's an honor, like I rightly intimated. Just like Melinda Gates, said, and I quote, she says that a woman with a voice, by definition, is a strong woman. And clearly that's what you all are. Every day you go out there to play the role of a mother, great sisters, I dare say girlfriends, grandmothers, aunties, and you do it so well. Clearly, you multitask. And for that, ask myself how my wife is able to do it. Wake up around 3, 4 a.m., after morning devotion, get the kids ready, drop them off school, go to work, cook. And same with my mom growing up. So that should go to say that we shouldn't underrate women. We should cherish women. And I'm proud to say that I'm one man of many that has a lot of respect for women and for the theme as well. I think that that's what many women represent. Obaasima, it means the ideal woman, the complete woman. And I believe that that's what we should aim to achieve. So Amaprat, thanks so much. It's an apt, caption that you've actually chosen. And to Guinness Ghana, thanks so much for, embracing this and owning it as well, because the support is very much needed. What do you give? And all the other sponsors, please, a round of applause for them. I would say that EIB Network, I know Amaprat, you own Pan-African Television and all of that, the media house, but synergy and coming together to work for good is what I believe in. So although we might compete, it's a healthy competition. And I want to throw our support in terms of airtime of 100,000 Ghana cedis to promote all that you're doing, be it the executive interviews, your jingles, your adverts. Please count EIB Network in. Because I believe in women, I want you to welcome a senior broadcast journalist, a woman of many parts, a woman of substance, brilliant and outstanding in everything that she does. Lily Mohammed is with our newsroom to take the next 3 minutes to empower all of us as well. We rise by lifting others. And I believe that the future is female. Over to you.
Thank you very much. That's my boss, and I respect him so much. He's a man who has earned the respect of a lot of women because he gives opportunity to women, and I'm a clear example. I walked into EIB, and today I wear so many hats. I have colleagues here. Francis Aban, thank you very much. He also portrays women positively. Thank you always for the encouragement. Young women here, we have a long way to go. When you wake up in the mirror and you look into that mirror, whatever you see is who you are, and that should inspire you. Good evening.
Metro Nasi, when you remember being how. When I met your dress, Shampabuana boy Bianca, just people when you say, Maria Siagan game for. When I bet I'm a queen and I walk as a man crowd. I've been on my John watch it. My John watch it. Near open them as a dear, my name of Cray was Semusia, Tassim the Dugumasum, there will be a young copy. I've been on Ponsa, Tuntumbro near home, and some Hundy Piqua, or Betty Brent to Jason, people were named the soon. I'm a young from Socrack, I who was about time, a woman outdoors, and my comedy to Wapa, Thomas was sending for some Martinelli as Yacha. A day, or Papa Napapana, and my Kumanina, in your beautiful for cow, so maybe free sell the wardrobe. Until dark, I say, me hon sensem, a todebia, a babu, a bem, Vidoria say, I'm moving to Tiantem, you saw the Payadina Kumen. Yeah, you are always on my mind, and forever in my heart. The day, you are always on my mind, and forever in my heart. It's Uncle Fano, and what I'm Nicotana Diama, a bell wabofra, at the day, you are diner, almost a major. It's a son of Mumu Krana, when in the Doffer say me, that any Antona China, that the Amajao, many Joe Cocosoko Joe, Subirani, a brand who one, a mechanic, my dear Mepelli, I didn't drink with this was Swabako, Fabagumi Quenchi, now but Trena Meshawa, one as NBC in the Tessie, Mindy Yaw, and who and Nimisi Aname Tete, for a little when never be Anames Resere, we are him as I do what Medo Betchaman sign, Abana Bedamau, Senia Cocoso Bedamau. Hey, or Pepania Quapana de Dowo. But my crew menina, me no be full for cow, so me both free sell the wardrobe. It's your dog, I say, me won't send some. I told the beer, a babu, a bam, Vidoria say, I'm moving to Tiantem. We saw the buyer dinner come. Yeah, you are always on my mind, and forever in my heart. The day. You are always on my mind, and forever in my heart. Oh, don't ye, oh, heavy, heavy, oh, don't ye, oh, hey, Seminana. Send your dog, you would be a Sauchi Mamma. Send your Kunubaya, Wayiribia. Sabi Mamma. Hey, Mitty to me nada, oh, Brebre, Hima. Hey, Seminawa. Send your dog, you would be a Sauchi Mamma. Send your Kunubaya, Wayiribia. Sabi Mamma. Hey, Mitty to me nada, oh, Brebre. Hima. Hey, what? Say, me who nana told me so. Obemu, Obaasima say, Wakoto. Hey, Obachini, a good so. Tian and the crazy so. Hey, Genesatia and an answer and a cheat and an empty me hope. Hey, Penny Forka, ya, Moya boss, show me a no account for Baco. Hey, I'm in Goa, I'm in Pena, and I'm Panama Tanko. Oh, yes, sir, never on a perry and a door. The morning, no, so latido, Ade, oh, yeah, Joe, Fefe, the dead there, the dear more sentence, the crap from Nidia who on one of the pay, Media was ready in the who saw baby and the one in the set. Ah, Obinjima Sutiri, Sitimram the condo, who are you share? Akuma nimi jetili, I said, Tinti or don't me funk, Media see a yo, Hana Manipaka. Maybe men not to Makuma Musada Ratata Quasimine. I don't know who bar for ye. I is your mo, a Riamo, Media dog, Medi no crack. Eh, Seminana. Send your dog by your dobia. Sauchi Mamma. Send your Kunubaya Wayiribia. Sepi Mamma. Meti to Minada, oh, Brebre, Hima.
Yeah, the final part.
finally, but I'll leave you with another Maya. And I know you understand what I mean by Maya. And she says here that courage is the most important of all virtues. Because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. And I think what she's trying to communicate here is, you wake up every morning, you realize that you need courage to move on. You need courage to do everything. The TV presenters here, when you have to sit on a show and you're not really yourself, and you don't look your best, you don't feel good, it is courage that keeps you going. The market seller who doesn't think it's a good time, it's courage that keeps you going. The student who is not well prepared, it is courage that keeps you going. So courage, if we have it, we can pull through anything that comes our way. So ladies and gentlemen, please, let's take courage from today. Let courage be our friend, and let's live with courage. I will go to the final part, and this is the unveiling of the 2022 theme for the Guinness-Ghana Obaasima Summit. And I have two very special people who are going to do it. I wish I could actually have a test right now for anyone randomly to tell me who they think is going to do the unveiling, but people here are very smart. If I put my money down, you guys are going to chop it. Let me invite, first of all, the ladies who are supposed to help us do the unveiling, if you can come close. So, Sylvia, Owuswan Kuma, the ever elegant lady, and our noble and gracious founder, our lovely Amaka. Can you join us here? They know what they're about. They started it before I joined the Obaasima Summit. So please, let me allow Amaka to explain what we're doing here.
Thank you, Jifa. So, what you see here is our ATL fabric, to symbolize the connection that we've had with ATL from the beginning till now, so that's what you see here. I will ask Madam to go ahead. Guinness-Ghana Obaasima Summit 22, our theme for this year is the progressive portrayal. As always, don't ever forget that, progressive portrayal of women. But it's progressive portrayal, building capacity for elevation. Building capacity for elevation.
Guinness-Ghana, I should say the biggest thank you to you guys. You guys are the kind of sponsorship or partnership you're all looking for. People who believe in you when there is basically almost nothing to see yet because you're a startup. They believe in you, they start with you, they ride through till the end. Guinness-Ghana, you are amazing. Amma tells me to tell you a very big thank you. And she doesn't take your partnership as a joke. She's called me a whole 30 minutes on the phone last night on how to treat you guys specially. But not to just mention Guinness-Ghana, we have NLA, UMB Tech Haven, who have provided us ultra-modern facilities to make sure that you all feel like, we're on top of our technology game. Because we don't want you to come here and start writing long scripts and everything like the old way. Tech Haven has made sure that this IT thing has been very smooth over here with us. And our media partners, Pan-African TV, you are amazing. I'm not mentioning one particular name, but Pan-African TV is amazing. And please, all of you here, watch out. Watch out the UTVs and Joy FMs and GH1. Pan-African is coming to take you all, hopefully not by surprise. A healthy competition. But yes, even though you knew that Pan-African was the main sponsor, we still had GH1 in the house, we still had UTV in the house, we still had TV3, and we still had Joy FM in the house. Very supportive people. We appreciate you. Metro TV2 was here because we know that we cannot, put out our message with just one TV station. Everyone has a preference, and so you all came to support, and we are very, grateful to all of you. We are grateful to Kwame Osudanso, who is behind the scenes, but a very, 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 Amma tells me to tell him this, a supportive husband. And so for the single girls out there, when you are praying, just tell God that I said, I want a man like Kwame Osudanso. Tell God I said. And you see, there are people who got very late invitations. We are grateful. We are happy. The thought are so important that you had to attend. There are people that met very heavy traffic and got here almost closing time, but they thought their presence was still important. And so we are grateful that you came. Amanda, you are one of them. We are grateful that you made it all. I cannot continue thanking, because if I continue, you're probably not going to leave here, but every one of you, and trust me, I have seen you all, every one of you, Lily, Francis Aban, I can't, Amanda, there are a lot of them, Michi, Veronica, I just cannot mention all of them, but if you haven't heard your name, know that I have seen you, and we are grateful. My very own Ama Frimpong, I love you so much. We are grateful for having you here. And so officially, Obaasima, Guinness Ghana Obaasima Summit 2022 has been a success. And finally, from me to the entire team, thank you so much. And from me to the founder, Ama, thank you. Your initiative will live on. It will prosper. Amen. It will live before and beyond your age. Amen. So give me the contact, please, so that I can mention it. But yes, the Guinness Ghana Obaasima Summit 2022 is officially launched. And so we would be expecting that whoever in your power and your capacity can join. We would like to have you on board. If you want to support in any way, we are around. If you want to just be part and witness for yourself how we do this, we are open to grow. And so we can accommodate as many people who are interested. And so let me mention the contact for you, please. 057 191 0541. 057 191 0541. Chenyom, I was very mad at you, but you have made up for everything that you took from me. And so, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of the summit.